Alright, hey, Mark again. Decided to do a part 2 of this kerfing video, so that way I can show you guys the entire process. So now from video number 1, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go watch it. I basically showed how you make these kerf pieces. And you can see this is my outer part of the port, and I've attached this to the box. Made my curve like I talked about, and I'm up to the step basically where when I put this in, I loaded all these cracks up with wood glue, and that way it's already pretty sturdy, but in this video I'm going to show the sanding of it, and then the fiberglassing process, and then finally, I always like to do body filler. It makes it a lot more professional. You don't have to do that, but I'm really looking for a professional grade box here, so I'm going to do that as well, and I'll show that as well. And then from there on out, I would actually put the inside of the port in, but it'd be the same process, so you really only need to see this part of the video. But stay tuned and we'll show you what I did. Alright, now what we're going to do is start with sanding the inside of here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's some ripples as far as extra leftover wood glue, and just to get the wood nice and smooth. This is important before fiberglass because you really want your fiberglass to lay down as perfectly as possible. And this is a step that a lot of people skip and end up paying for it later because they end up having bubbles in their fiberglass. So whenever you have bubbles, it decreases your strength. So you definitely don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead and proceed with sanding this. Notice when I sand, I'm always going to do one way and then the other way in an X pattern. That kind of gets you to even down. And this is a little trick that everyone out there should know. Kind of maximizes the use of your sandpaper. But basically you take a piece of sandpaper and fold it in half. And then after you've folded that line, you're going to spray like a liquid glue, like a spray glue on it, spray adhesive, and then you're going to fold it back on that line and cut it in half again, and you'll end up with a quarter because you folded it twice. And basically it's stuck together, so it's sandpaper on both sides, cut off the corners so it doesn't ever bind up, and it's just a lot easier to hold. I can basically hold it like this in the palm of my hand and sand back and forth, so it's really nice. I mean, otherwise I definitely recommend block sanding, but for things like this where it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because it's not going to be painted, you can get away with doing this. Alright, now I'm basically all set up here, and what you can see I did is I put 2 strips of masking tape down, and that's just because I have a nice clean edge where the edge of the fiberglass resin is, and I also cut a piece of chop matte fiberglass ready to be positioned. So what I'm going to do is take some spray glue and let's spray inside here. You don't have to do a whole lot, it's just enough to kind of hold the fiberglass in place. I'll put it in place here. Make sure it's nice and even where I want it. It's a little bit lower than I hoped. That looks good. Smooth it out in there, and I'm going to start doing my fiberglass. Now, don't go overboard on the resin, because the resin's expensive, you don't want to waste it. You're just going to do enough so that basically it's almost like you can see through the chop mat. So I should be able to start to actually see I can see the red Sharpie that was on there, as well as the actual cut lines in the wood. But definitely pay attention to how you're putting this stuff down. You want to do it in a neat fashion because it's sticky and it's hard to clean up. Alright, so I got all my fiberglass resin in, made sure it's all laid down nice and perfect. And a tip, I just use a crappy old plastic bowl, but whenever you're done, leave your cheap chip brush in it. And I mean, these things are like 20 cents a piece anyway. So when you're done, or when it's actually dried, that way you can just pull the whole chunk of dried resin out of the bowl and reuse it. So now I'm going to do. Make sure I got up nice and clean to the edge of the tape. You don't want any fiberglass actually overlying the tape, so make sure it's far enough from where you want to end your fiberglass. But I'm actually going to take the tape and pull it up like so. Careful not to get this crap on your hands or anything. Do the same here. You can see I pulled up a little bit of the fiberglass hairs there, which is fine. It'll sand out really easily since they're so fine. But a nice clean edge for the edge of my resin. Hey guys, now unfortunately I had a few technical difficulties with making the last video. I ended up missing the body filler application part, but basically you guys didn't really miss much. You can buy body filler at like Advanced Auto, AutoZone, places like that. But I definitely recommend looking for a product called Rage Gold. It's by a company called Evercoat, and they make amazing body filler. It spreads really nice, it sands perfect, so definitely look for that. But basically I just spread it on and I allowed it to dry, and then I sanded it in that same X pattern like I did before. And from there I just primered it and painted it with a nice coat of black flat paint. That way, you know, when you look in there, you're not seeing wood, you're actually just seeing black. So this is the completed box. Doesn't have carpet yet, but otherwise the kerf is complete. You can see the curve on the other side here. So that basically is kerfing in a nutshell. Now real quick, I got to send a shout out for one of my friends. His YouTube channel is called Goin' Chops, and he calls himself the Birdman, and he's really well known in the Xbox world. You have to check him out if you play Modern Warfare, because he has amazing techniques that he teaches you in his videos. I mean, I used to be one of those guys that every game I wouldn't do that great, and now I have games consistently where, you know, I'll have like 40 kills and 5 deaths, so just awesome kill-death ratios. And he teaches you how to play from a technical aspect rather than just how to camp and almost cheat. So definitely check out his videos. But otherwise, in the next coming weeks, I'm going to be doing another video, basically a full-blown subwoofer box installation, but it's going to be fiberglass, and I'm going to show you how to do templates and a lot of the tips and tricks that the pros use that they don't want you to know. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll be coming at you with another video.